Well, we're going to be moving into our 2024 Alliance 29RL sometime, hopefully next late spring, early summer.
I like how you say that.
Yeah, well, and so we have slowly this summer been working on, number one, just kind of getting moved in and getting a feel for what we like, what we don't like, changes we want to make.
Correct.
And one of the things I know you're really thinking about is how to truly turn it into our home.
Right.
And make it feel warm and welcoming.
Absolutely.
And I thought maybe we'd talk about it in this episode of Travels with Delaney,
the podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back. My name's Patrick.
I'm Patty.
And if you're new to our podcast, we are just two 50-somethings that have been
I like how
in.
you say that.
Yeah, you like that? We are both educators.
Yep.
Patty has taught in the middle school for 25 years.
26.
26.
Don't shy me that 1 year, baby.
Right.
I earned it.
And I have taught at the community college for the last 27 years, teaching business and hospitality management. And we're just getting ready to transition into a new phase of our life.
A new branch.
And one of the things that we're going to be doing is listing our house this spring on the market. And once it sells, moving into our RV full-time for a couple of years. And then eventually... we will purchase another home, most likely somewhere down south.
Where we don't have to experience icy, snowy, kind of cold.
No more Midwest winters for this boy.
We're done with that.
If we can help it. So, we're going to be moving into this RV, which doesn't scare us at all.
No.
But you still want to make it very livable.
Right.
And we're going to talk about that. But before we do, we have to do another exciting round of this or that.
Dun, dun, dun. I wondered if you're going to do that because you kind of getting rambly there. I thought,
I know.
Did he forget?
I did
about
not
this or
forget.
That? Am I off the hot seat? But no, I'm in the frying pan.
You are in the frying pan
All
here.
right.
So it is pumpkin season.
Oh, I love pumpkin season.
So... if you had to choose, which would you rather have? A slice of Costco pumpkin pie.
Ooh. With whipped cream?
Sure, you can have your whipped cream.
Oh, homemade?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Boy, you're getting a little demanding on this.
With a little cinnamon? Okay, go ahead.
Or would you rather have a slice of Starbucks pumpkin loaf bread?
Oh, this is a no-brainer. This is like easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going with Costco pumpkin pie, baby.
Wow, I thought for sure you were going to go Starbucks just so you could have a reason to go to Starbucks
Well, I'd
again.
still get my Starbucks with my pie from Costco because there's a Starbucks right near the Costco.
Well, I actually think that Starbucks pumpkin bread is pretty tasty.
It's good, but
really
man,
any pumpkin bread for that matter is pretty tasty.
How can you turn away the pumpkin pie?
The pumpkin pie is good. I think the best part of the pumpkin pie at Costco is the price. Because that pie is bigger than my face.
It's bigger than your head.
It's bigger than the head. and they're like, what, $5.99 or
Something
$4.99?
like that.
They're so cheap.
I mean, I like them both. And right now you can get your slice of pumpkin loaf, and they heat it up. It's so good at Starbucks. But I'm going with the pie.
With the pie.
I'm going with the pie. Because, you can enjoy it and enjoy it and enjoy it. Because it's so big.
I know. I mean, there's only two. Now, the thing is, I don't even know once we move into the RV.
If we'll be able to do that.
I don't know that we can even fit a Costco pumpkin pie in our refrigerator.
So I may have to go back to the Starbucks pumpkin
Maybe.
loaf.
Well, we can still buy a Costco pumpkin pie. It's just we're going to literally have to cut it down.
And make friends.
To get it into the refrigerator.
Hand out to folks as we leave and say, here. And we only want half the pie, really.
Right. Yeah. Costco, could you sell half pies?
Or a quarter. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah.
That would be great.
That would be good.
Well, anyway, I just thought we're going to be doing a lot more of these episodes talking about our transition into full-time RV life. But I feel like a lot of this information, even for those of you listening who are like, well, I'm not going full-time. I'm still going to be a weekend warrior in my RV.
We used to be that.
Yeah, or just go out for a week at a time. I feel like some of this is still useful information.
Well, sure.
And there may be, I hope so. But today what I wanted to do was talk about how you're working to kind of transform the RV from the standard, Elkhart interior design, that they all look alike, so that it feels more like a home for us.
Right.
And you've been working on some things already and you do a really nice job of making it feel homey in here.
I do.
And, yeah, you do. And so I thought for episode number 74,
we'll hit it, huh?
Are you impressed?
I see you got that number right down.
74.
Your synapses are working.
That's right. So let's
Where
start.
should we start?
Yeah,
what do you think?
Well, let's start with a recent project that you started.
The curtains.
And I have a feeling is going to be continuing.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about. So in most RVs, they come with these window boxes.
Yep. Exhibit A over here.
Which the ones in our Alliance aren't terrible.
They're not ugly, no.
Unlike a lot of them, including our Lance.
Yep. They had this side piece that was attached to the top.
Right. So the ones, for those of you listening in your car right now that can't see Patty pointing.
Yeah.
Ours are just across the top of the window.
Correct.
And then we have roller shades.
Very nice
And
ones.
the window boxes kind of just cover up where the roller shade is housed.
Yep.
But in our Lance, and a lot of RVs are this way, the window box went not only across the top, but then down both sides.
You had something decorative on the side. It was like one big piece, like a big U. And it was hard sometimes because our Lance, the blinds weren't as nice, or we used them too much or pulled too hard or something.
Right.
Or they were older and they were starting to come apart a little bit. And it was hard to get this put back on the bottom part that you pull on.
The roller shades.
Yeah, the roller bottom. And, but yeah, to get that fed back through there, but it was very complicated. But this just has this top part, and, you know, you're sitting in here, because you spend a lot of time in here, and I'm thinking, why don't we change it up a little bit? Make it...
Because we don't have window boxes in our house.
No.
No. Well, you actually started, before we get into the window boxes, you actually started with probably the easiest...
The kitchen window.
Yeah. To me, in any RV, and it's one of the first ones we always change out.
And we did it in the Lance.
Yeah.
And we did not have a big window behind in the other... Alliance that we did. It didn't have that blind on it. Remember, it did not have.
Did it not
that,
have
that metally blind?
Okay. So a lot of times in RV kitchens, they put in a metal mini blind.
Right.
And they do that because you've got a gas stove cooktop right there. I'm sure they have to do it. It's got to be some kind of
fire
regulation.
code or something.
Yeah. But we don't like those.
I didn't like that, and I just kept sitting because in our Alliance, we have our theater seating across from that area. And when I was sitting there, and I don't know, this summer, I'm thinking, that is just kind of ugly. It just is the blind. You can see the I guess the screws and the whatnots that hold it up, whatever you call those things, the gadgets, the gizmos. And I'm thinking we can make this look a lot nicer if we could just put like a curtain of some kind, or a valance, or a curtain, something, to make it look nice. So
so we went ahead and removed the mini blind,
which was easy peasy. That little lever at the top.
Yeah, there's just two mounting brackets.
And that's what they're called.
They're just little levers you open up and the whole thing comes off.
My gizmos, gadgets, are brackets.
And we did leave the mounting hardware up, at least for the time being.
Yeah.
I guess our thought process was, heaven forbid we ever want to trade this one in.
Yeah, it's like, don't destroy it too much.
Right.
But
although we're probably headed there.
We're headed in that direction.
Yeah. But anyway, so we took that down, and then on Amazon you ordered a curtain rod.
Right.
And a curtain valance.
Right. I went with a valance. We measured the length and I guess the height, and we just ordered one. We only needed one. Valance, and then we got a cute little rod. I think, was that black, or is that?
No, I think it's like a
bronze or something.
Brush bronze or something like that, or nickel.
I'll make up my own names. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of a bronzy brown, and it goes in here because the Alliance has like white and gray and some browns and tans, and it just fits right in real nice because we got stainless steel stuff over here with the oven and the microwave and the refrigerator, and so it just looks really nice. And so we left that bracket there, and we put the rod so that when you hung the curtain, you didn't see the bracket. It's like hidden back there. We know it's there, but you can't see it. That way, if we guys thought, well, you might be trading RVs, we could put that blind up, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Right.
But anyway, it's just hidden back there. And what's great about that window is it slides from left to right. And so it has a good breeze that comes in there, and especially when we use our Ninja cooker, I sometimes open that to let the heat go out, and besides the exhaust on the microwave. But anyway, it just slides over is my point, and you can have the light or the wind, the breeze coming in on the other side, so it just easily pushes over. And it is so cute. We ended up going with this cute print because I kind of like that mustardy yellow right now.
Right.
And there's a little bit in here with some like the fall flowers, the sunflowers, and then our little cute little things we have in the kitchen and our towels and whatnot. But yeah, so it's a real pretty. Just pulled in the gray, the white, and the mustard, and it's a real cool
kind of a geometric print, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, we didn't want to do stripes or anything. We're trying to not make it look like a certain style. We just wanted to upgrade.
Right.
And for us, it looks really nice.
I will tell you, the day that Amazon or the Postal Service brought our Amazon order, we were expecting the curtain rod and the valance.
Right.
And they never showed up at the camp office. I was working that day. And I'm like, well, that's weird. We were supposed to get a package. So one of my coworkers said, well, I'll run to the mailbox. And I'm like, well, it really can't be in the mailbox. And here he comes with, he's like, oh, your package has arrived. And I'm like, how do you get a curtain rod in a mailbox?
Yeah, how'd that happen, honey?
So the curtain rod that we ordered, it came in pieces.
Yeah,
like
you
screw it together. And
kind of like a tent stake.
Yeah.
Or a tent pole for your tents, but yeah, it kind of went together, and it's sturdy, and the mounting bracket.
It's not shock corded though. I don't want somebody listening to this thinking it's got shock cording.
No, not like that.
Yeah, not like that.
But it just slides together.
Yeah.
And it has a cute end caps on it, and it just looks really nice.
And for those of you wondering, like, aren't you going to burn your RV down when you cook? No. For a couple of reasons. Number one, we have the fold-up glass top.
Yes, that protects.
So that is a barrier back there anyway.
If you are using the cooktop, yeah.
And number two, we don't use the cooktop a lot, and we never use the back burners.
No, always the fronts.
It's just the front one that I use. And then the other thing is we can slide the curtain either all the way to the left or all the way to the right, so that it's not near the flame anyway.
And if you want it, it just easily just pops off the top.
Worst case scenario.
You could just take it off if you felt like it was going to be an issue. But honestly, I don't think it's going to be a problem.
No.
And I just think it makes an upgrade. It's a darkening shade on one side, so
I think it does a much better job of keeping like the light out when we want it dark or in the evening, and you don't want because if you're I mean, not so much here at Happy Acres, but at like when we're traveling, like at a Cracker Barrel, sometimes you park near parking lights and stuff, and that'll do a much better job of keeping the light out than that little stupid mini blind.
Well, and this one has, besides the blackout, it does something with heat. It helps kind of keep
like a reflective or something.
And so this is also nice where we are now because that window faces the west. And right now we're getting some pretty potent sunsets, so they're beautiful. But the heat coming in there in the afternoon can be pretty hot lately. And so,
do you remember what we paid?
Golly, not very much at all.
I was thinking we have around maybe $30 in the valance. In the valance and the rod.
Right. And this rod can be, the curtain itself can be washed.
Right.
And I steamed it, and it just looks nice. I love it.
Now, my biggest concern is when I hung the rod, I don't think I hit anything.
Yeah.
And my biggest concern, but we were watching a RV video because we actually went in and did a search on YouTube, which, most people don't realize.
It's a good research tool.
It's a great research tool. But basically we put in like RV curtain
remods or modeling or whatever.
And we found a video from a few years ago, a couple, and I did not know this. Command actually sells hooks that are for like curtain rods.
And that is shocking that you don't know this.
I know,
because this is Mr. Command here.
Yeah.
He loves Command Center. Anywhere we go, there's a Command Center. He's over there.
So you just buy these Command rod holders, stick them up.
Yep.
I think they'll hold up to.
She said 10 pounds.
10 pounds, which is a lot.
Way more than what we need.
Right. And so I may end up looking for those because she said they came in, I think, 4 different colors. And then just go ahead and unscrew the mounts.
Right. And this other gentleman had something you put in with your screw that kind of did a butterfly type of thing.
Yeah, and that's a possibility too.
Inside there. And then the gal that you're talking about that we watched with the Command hooks for hanging also had something you put on the end so that like if you hit a bump, the rod doesn't come out.
Oh, she used what you use.
That tacky?
Yeah, tacky in essence.
Okay. So
I think she called it museum putty or something.
okay.
But I think it was basically tacky.
So it kind of, you put it on top of the rod, I assume, to keep the
on
rod.
the bottom, like you put it between the rod and the rod holder
to keep it there.
so that they kind of mesh
that's
together.
That's a cool idea. We have some of that, exactly.
Yeah. So when you do travel,
it doesn't bounce out.
Right.
And flop all over.
All right, so kitchen looks great.
Yep.
And now you're wanting to move into
the other areas.
Other areas of the RV.
Yeah, we got the really big side, 2 big windows over here that are gorgeous with our, what do you call that, theater seating and the table. And then we have where we are now on the podcast couch.
Right, on the back.
Right behind, on the back, there's the sides and the big window behind us.
Right.
Originally, we were thinking of doing the window behind us first, but I think now we might be starting over here, across from the kitchen area, and doing the big side slide out here with the theater seating.
Right. And for those of you, again, that can't visually picture what's going on here, so it's a super slide on the passenger side of the RV that houses both our theater seating and our dinette.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 2 big windows looking out onto the patio.
Beautiful. I love them.
And so they have 2 large roller shades plus 2 very large window boxes.
Yep.
And I said to Patty, I'm like, maybe we should start over there. And then you do have the windows on each end of that slide, which are not as big.
No.
But I'm like, I feel like those window boxes, they would have been better off to do one massive window box.
I often wondered why. Maybe it was the weight of it.
I don't know.
Because there are 2, and they've hooked them together in the middle. But I just kind of, I thought maybe it was the weight.
Right.
I don't know.
Could be. Mm-hmm. So what we're thinking is, to start over there, remove window boxes. I think the big question is, are we going to keep the roller shades and then just use the curtains as like an accent? Or are we going to just remove everything and just use curtains like you would use curtains in your house?
I'm almost thinking, after watching what we watched on YouTube, that we probably don't need the roller shades.
That's kind of my thought.
Because I'm thinking it might make it look weird. And I think the clean look of it went from the YouTuber. It looked so nice with the curtain that they had.
Right.
And, so I'm thinking something like that. Because I'm envisioning, like, the curtains hanging on the sides of the window.
Right.
Open, when you have it open. I'm not going to use, like, I don't want it to look country with tiebacks or something like that. And then at night, we just close them up like we would at the house. You just pull it shut.
Right.
So
that's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Because these windows were lucky, aren't they? Kind of like tinted anyway. A little bit?
They do have a tint to them,
and this side that we're talking about has the awning on it.
It has its own awning off of it. So So and then I think that's your plan. Is at some point, and I'm not in a huge hurry to do this project because I'm a little scared.
We're just doing some research, making sure we don't mess this up.
Right.
You don't want it to look janky or have big holes in your walls and whatever. And so I think we'll take our time. We're doing some more research. And probably when things slow down a little bit with our lives, we might attempt it.
I think the thing is it's not that it's not a clean look in here.
It looks very clean.
It's just it's almost sterile.
Well, it almost kind of, I don't know. You're right. I think it needs to be, it's warm, but it needs to be warmed up some more.
Yeah, because I think what the problem is they have it's kind of like a dark tan window box and then a taupe roller shade.
So it's just kind of blocked.
And then you have kind of like I'm going to say white, but maybe an off-white wall.
Kind of.
And there's like no color.
Not really a lot to make it, homey. And we don't want it to be crazy, but we want to put a little color.
Right.
And we were actually thinking
the kitchen looks amazing, by the way, with just adding that pop of color with that curtain. I mean, I think that's what got us thinking. I was like, holy cow, it totally changed the kitchen area.
Well, and from what we've been watching and just kind of what we've been seeing and what we want to do next with our next home, wherever that is, I'm thinking maybe white. And then when they have blackout white shades or I'll get it out, curtains that we might try. So
after I just said we were washed out in here.
But white would be a pop.
Right, because white would be a contrast.
With the dark trim and everything that we have, the walnut kind of stuff. But anyway, I don't know. You never know what we might do.
Right. And then obviously another area we could potentially look at is the bedroom because there's
Right.
2 windows in the bedroom.
Right.
But I don't know. Out here, it just feels like it needs something.
It just needs a little jazzed up. It
Yeah.
just needs something. Yep.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't have suggested doing the super slide because that one just looks like it's going to be challenging because literally the window boxes are on top of each other where they meet in the middle. You know, and
well, they've hooked them together. If you look up in there.
Oh, do they actually have them?
Well, they've screwed them together.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah.
Just like that one's the end ones. But anyway, we could start on a small window.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I think it's those types of things. When you start doing that, it really turns the RV, like I said, more into your home because you start putting little touches in that you know just make it special like that.
Right.
Maybe we should have titled this whole episode "Curtains for Your RV" instead.
Well, and of course, you know, pillows. Like we got this nice, you know, these creamy pillows, make them feel more, you know, comfy.
Right.
Sissy just loves them, our pup, and you know, a little rug that we found at our local
rug might be the
Menards.
best investment.
It's so soft. It's very, it kind of,
and it just makes it feel like home.
Yep.
Like having that pop of color on the floor, like you know, it's a big area rug. I forget what size it was, 5x7, I think.
Yeah.
We actually have to slide some of it under the couch,
Which is okay.
which is fine. Yeah, but
well, and I think it works well for the dogs. Oh, they love it, but it also gives them like a landing pad
so
when
they
jump
off the
they're
couch.
not sliding off and hitting the wall, which they can do easily. So, yeah.
You know, obviously, other things as we kind of wrap up here that you've done is, you know, hanging pictures on the wall, things that are
special
personal.
to us.
Yeah, and then you just, you know, recently were out yard sailing.
Yeah, I found some cool things.
Yeah, you went looking for stuff for your eBay business, but you came back with stuff for
well, heck, when I find these cute little, I guess you would call them wicker pumpkins, and they were 3 colors. One is like pumpkin color, one's kind of a more brown, and one is kind of a tan. And they're a set of 3, and the gal was closing up her garage sale, and I didn't see anything for the business, and I was looking at those, and she goes, make an offer if you like them, you know, because everything was like make an offer. I'm like, oh, I like when there's prices on it. But anyway, she says 50 cents for all 3, and I said, sure, done. And then that day I ran to Hobby Lobby because I wanted something else. I was looking for just some stems, and they had stems on sale. I wanted the sunflowers and the daisies to put in a little vase. And my goodness, I found those 3. They look very similar to what I bought, and they were $14.99 at Hobby Lobby, and I got them for 50 cents. Yeah.
Nice.
And our little pop shelf store, I found stuff this summer for the trailer to make like cute little signs, just to kind of warm it up. These we got on vacation. I love coasters and the pineapples. So
I'm curious. Had she said $1 a piece,
I probably would have done it still.
If she had said $10 for all 3.
No.
Okay. I was just curious. I mean,
because I was thinking, okay, make an offer. I was thinking $1 for all 3, and then she said 50 cents. So
I would have been thinking
a quarter,
$1 a piece, but I don't know. I don't know what they sell for.
Well, I told you they got all 3 for $14.99.
Oh,
so
there you go. You got a deal.
I did.
Yep.
Yep. And just cute little things. We got our little plants that we got from IKEA years ago. They're tiny little guys in a little spaces. And then, you know, on our trip this summer, coffee mugs we've talked about before. Right. The Be Kind, Be Unique, Be Happy. And they got the cute little bee with the mustard yellow on them. And then, you know, there's some of that mustard in our bathroom with our towels. And out here at the campsite last year, I planted lavender that I got from our school greenhouse at the end of the year of May of, what would that have been, 23? And we planted them out here because it's a good thing for mosquitoes. And I thought, well, if it's by our camper and we're sitting outside, maybe it'll help keep the mosquitoes, you know, at bay, away. And those plants are just going crazy. And that makes it feel homey, too. But I've been trimming some of that off and bringing the lavender inside and have a little vase in our bathroom to make it cute. So, yeah, just things like that, just to try to make it look nicer. And we didn't want to go crazy at first making it feel homey, but we just slowly just add this or add that, or things we have at home that we're not using that we could put in here. But yeah.
Well, I just like to finish with two things.
Okay.
Number one, if you want to make it feel like home, you just start throwing your junk around, and that feels like home. Like we have our catch-all bin, that feels like home.
Our catch-all bin.
Yeah, the basket where we just throw like keys and
yeah.
mail. And,
yeah.
I always feel like that makes it feel like home because that's what you do at home. And for those of you, the second thing is for those of you that didn't see the theme with Patty, mustard.
Yeah.
Ketchup. I want them all to catch up. Okay.
You're so bad.
I tried.
Oh my gosh.
But there is a mustard theme in here.
There is a little. I like that
bit.
color.
Yeah. So.
And it just it's my color right now. I like it. It's not a ton, but I like it a little bit. Yeah.
All right. We better wrap up.
We better wrap this bad boy up.
Next episode will be number 75, and we'd like at least one person to come back and listen to it. So
yeah, we didn't drone on too much.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I tell you what, I would love, and I know it's hard for people to comment on the audio side because it's such a pain to try to go to a podcast platform to leave a comment.
Right.
But I would love to hear, like, has anyone else changed out like roller shades and window boxes for curtains,
and how bad was it?
And were you happy with it? Like, did you regret doing it? If you're watching us on our dedicated YouTube channel, Travels with Delaney,
the podcast,
then it's so much easier there to leave comments. Obviously,
absolutely.
But yeah, that's something I'd be curious to know because we've always done the kitchen is not a big deal. We've done that before.
Yep.
But I don't know that we've ever tackled the rest of the RV.
We haven't. We did a blind, remember, in the one trailer in the bedroom.
Right.
Because it was behind our heads and our feet. What was
that?
That
was
trailer?
way back in the Hummingbird.
Yeah.
And we did do that.
We did just the I don't know, can't remember.
I think we actually did that and the kitchen.
I think you're right. That was such a small trailer. I don't remember exactly what we went with, but yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right, everyone.
Exciting.
Well, it's exciting. We're getting closer.
Yeah.
It's
not
crazy.
to quote Tom Petty, but we're running down a dream.
I thought we were running on empty like Jackson Brown.
Yeah.
Well, at any rate, Jim, our good friend and producer, is like,
people.
Dude, just wrap it up. But we do need to, before we wrap it up, Jim, say thank you to you for always going out of your way to make these things sound absolutely amazing.
And your patience with our digressing on keeping this up to date. So.
And also thank you to everyone who takes time out of your busy schedule to listen to us.
Ramble on.
That's right. Till next time, everybody. We'll see you.
On down the road.
Bye.
Travels with Delaney. We'll see you on down the road.